Don't rock that, run that, this how we're from.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the KHS Weekly Show. Alongside Lainey Lewis, I'm Neil Veroka, and thanks for joining us. Lainey?
This week's show is for the week of January 8th through Friday, January 12th.
Early reminder, school is not in session for students this coming Monday, January 15th, in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
School is back in session for students Tuesday, January 16th.
And next week, our weekly show will air Wednesday, January 17th.
We have a packed show highlighted by a couple of video segments, so stay tuned for those later in the show.
Up first is our safety tip of the week.
This is the scenario. How do we know when to evacuate during an Alice incident?
Here are the steps. 1. A teacher or staff member will let you know.
2. If you have an exterior door in your room, exit through it.
3. If you're on a ground level floor, use a window for emergency exit.
4. If you know where the danger is and you can exit without encountering the threat, after an exit, proceed with caution to safety area.
As we get started, here's a reminder to all drivers.
As the weather turns colder and we start to experience inclement weather, be mindful of wet roads that may cause slick conditions and drive carefully while on the roads.
As we turn our attention to announcements, please listen carefully as dates and meetings are subject to change.
And be sure to check in with your activity and club advisors for any updated information.
And check the Kinnelon High School social media platforms and district websites for any schedule updates or cancellations.
The next few announcements are related to school news and informational announcements about things happening at KHS.
Big shout out and congratulations to Kinnelon High School Student of the Week, Kevin Rule.
Awesome job, Kevin.
Congratulations and shout out to Mr. Grant and the KHS DECA team for placing at the DECA Regionals.
Several students now advance to the state competition in Atlantic City.
Congratulations to the following DECA members.
Heather Ginsberg, Claire Heckler, Stanley Reimars, Griffin Hall,
Steve Olympio, Colin Graham, Rothan Reddy, Jojo Lafregola.
Graham Carroll, Gavin Frieda, Max Borod.
Nice job to all.
We also offer congratulations to the following students that recently earned acceptance into the North Jersey Honors Choir.
Kathleen Morrisrow, Abigail Serenities, Alexa Giacoya, Carly Giacoya, Kayleen Munum, and James Minardi.
These KHS students auditioned this past Saturday with hundreds of students from all over northern New Jersey.
Kudos and good luck in your concert at the end of the month.
Moving along,
we continue our When I Was 17 segment. This time, producers John Kay and Spencer Rhodes sat down with Mr. Danielson, and we find out more about life in Montana.
Here's Mr. Danielson, When I Was 17. We'll be right back.
I don't know, is that appropriate? I went to high school in Ronan, Montana. Ronan High School. There's only one high school in the town. I grew up in Paderborn. It did not have a high school, so I had to go 5 miles on a bus. I believe there were 82 people in my class, graduating class. The high school had about 400 students. Well, I hate to confess this, but I didn't really do much homework until I was a junior. In fact, I didn't do any homework. But then a teacher came back from sabbatical. He really got me interested in learning, and so I became much more serious about school, and I started doing my homework, not just for his class, for everybody's class, and and from that point on, I was fairly dedicated as a student, fairly dedicated, not 100%, but I did most of my homework. Don't tell me, you might want to cut that. I played sports. I ran cross country, played tennis, and played basketball. So I enjoyed those, not only the sports themselves, but we'd get to travel around the state and things like that. I always enjoyed that as well. My first job was when I was a sophomore. It was at a printing press. Just helped out around the shop. The snow was deep. The snow was very deep, and it didn't leave. I bought a car from a friend of mine, a Ford, I think it was a Ford Galaxy, an old blue Ford Galaxy. I do remember one year they decided they'd have a new policy. You could be absent for, I can't remember the number of times, and you didn't need any note whatsoever. And we would actually get in our friends, get in the car, and we would actually drive, take the whole day and drive down to the largest town, Missoula, or up another one further north. And we had friends in those towns, and so we'd just go on road trips that year. They only kept that policy 1 year, and they went back to the old policy because it was a disaster. Well, what we would do is we would take our cars down to Ronan, and we would drive up and down Main Street and do another loop, and we'd park at the drive-in, right, and we'd hang out there. I liked, I think I liked the movie Rocky, The French Connection. I thought that was a pretty neat movie. The Godfather, I think, was out around that time as well. I was a big fan of The Godfather. Yeah, I was big into Bruce Springsteen. He just, not just come out with Born to Run, but I'm dating myself, but I like Springsteen, Fleetwood Mac, Rolling Stones. There was a lot of bad music at the time, like Muskrat Love is one of the terrible songs I remember, and there were a lot of bad music in the late 70s. No, none whatsoever. The Latin was not offered in my high school.
Such a lovely place, such a lovely place.
Let's put this to rest right now. I've not ever been a resident or citizen of Canada. My great-great-grandmother and father came from Canada, but that's the last connection with Canada. I was born and raised in the United States of America, and I'm a proud citizen. And if I were from Canada, I would embrace it because it's a wonderful place.
A big thanks and shout out to beloved natural U.S. citizen, Mr. Danielson. And nice job, John and Spencer.
Up next are a few school activity and club announcements. Please listen carefully.
Attention FBLA members.
There will be a mandatory FBLA general membership meeting Tuesday, January 9th after school in room 205.
Please be sure to bring any lollipop money if you have not paid yet.
Any questions, please see Ms. Ellington.
Attention all juniors and seniors.
The Science National Honor Society is looking for members.
If you are interested in applying for the National Science Honor Society, please see Mrs. Vilchok or Mr. Gebhardt in room 309 or 312.
There is a Coke Chronicle meeting Wednesday after school. Any questions, please see Mrs. Vandersloos.
The following are several sports-related announcements. Please listen carefully.
Online registration is now open for KHS Spring Sports.
Online registration and hard copy medical papers are due no later than February 1st, 2018.
You need to have your login password or returning users or your student ID number for new registrations.
Payment will be required at the end of the process via Visa or MasterCard.
Attention all students interested in playing spring season athletics.
Spring sports preseason meetings will be held this week.
Softball, Tuesday, January 9th at 2:30 in room 206.
Boys tennis, Tuesday, January 9th at 2:30 in room 310.
Golf, Wednesday, January 10th at 2:30 in the team room.
Track, Wednesday, January 10th at 2:30 in the old cafeteria.
Girls lacrosse, Wednesday, January 10th at 3 p.m. in the new cafeteria.
Baseball, Thursday, January 11th at 2:30 in the band room.
And boys lax to be decided.
Boys lacrosse, continue to check KHS Sports Twitter or Kinnelon Athletic page on the website for meeting info.
Congrats to the KHS hockey team for earning a 5-3 victory win over Vernon High School this past Friday.
Jared Fatzer led the way, notching the hat trick.
Senior captain Jamison Dugan had 3 assists, and goalie Brett Lewis had 28 saves to help preserve the win.
Good luck in your next game.
Shout out to the KHS girls basketball team for their recent 57-44 victory over Academy St. Elizabeth.
Taylor Smith poured in 18 points.
Naja White chipped in with 12, and Alexis Sacamano netted 10 points. Great all-around effort for the entire team.
Congratulations goes out to the varsity girls winter track shot put team on their 4th place finish at the Morris County Relays. Nice job, Caroline LaValle and Erica Hegarty.
Attention all sports fans. Saturday, January 13th at 7 p.m. is senior day for the boys and girls swim teams.
Come out to the Lakeland Hills YMCA to support the team in their dual meet against rival Mountain Lakes.
And cheer on our seniors, Martin Aguello, Jimmy Frawley, Stephen Jacopis, Eric Moody, Jake Stubbs, Olivia Bria, and Tori Civil. Good luck to all swimmers.
So this winter we have a new varsity sport. Fencing is a new program here at KHS.
Recently, producers Tori Civil and Jack Lazarus caught up with a few fencers and Mr. Rosenberg as we find out more in the video.
We will be right back.
I'm Tori Civil, and recently co-producers Jack Lazarus and I caught up with the athletic director, Mr. Rosenberg, to talk about the newest addition to Kinnelon High School athletics, fencing.
Interest level from our students. I think our students down even below the high school level, as well as some here in the high school. Parents approached the Board of Education, asked to add the sport. We did a survey in town for our students and their parents, and fencing came up as one of the top choices. We had a very generous donation from a parent in town that allowed us to financially start the team this year as well. We put together a schedule pretty quickly. Morris County has about maybe 9 schools that have fencing, and then Bergen and Passaic County close by have teams. So we're looking at Mars Hills, Mars Knolls, Butler, Chatham, Morristown, a couple other schools. But we have a full schedule at this point. There's both. There's individual counties and team counties, as well as the same for state tournament.
It's amazing, times are changing.
We have pretty good numbers this year, so if this year's numbers are indicative of what's coming up, then I would say yes. We have over 20 kids out for the team. Most of them are first-time fencers, don't really know much about it, so we have to see if it sort of sticks with them, if they enjoy it, and if they come back, and then we'll see what kind of number of kids are coming up. But I would say yes, I think it's going to be a viable sport.
It's a brand new day. It's a new life.
It was either 2007, 2008. It was our golf team. They started a little bit differently. They started out as a club here in the school. We had a golf club for a number of years. We sort of built up the numbers, and then eventually there was enough numbers and interest to turn it into a full-fledged varsity sport.
Welcome back. We also caught up with a few members of the fencing team to talk about what it's like to be a part of the newest addition to Kinnelon High School athletics.
I woke up in the morning and the sun was shining bright.
About a month ago, my mom showed me on the website that they were starting up a team, so I decided to join.
They sent out an email to, I think, all the parents of the KHS student body, and I think my parents let me know, but it's when my friends started talking about it that really intrigued me.
Bring me a new day.
Originally, no. Once I saw the site, I decided to join.
Bring me a new day.
I know that there are swords.
Not really. I don't have a lot of experience playing the sport, but I've done a little outside research, but I don't really know what to expect.
Brand new day.
Seemed like a cool thing I've always wanted to try to do. I never really got the opportunity, so when it presented itself, I feel like I'd be a fool not to seize it and take advantage of it.
I thought that it was a very cool sport because on the episode of iCarly with the fencing Bensons, I want to be like Freddie Benson, so I decided to join.
It's amazing, times are changing. Bring me a new day.
Thanks to Mr. Rosenberg and to all involved that helped with the video.
Attention student athletes, please listen to the end of day announcements for any practice schedule adjustments.
Be sure to follow the KHS YouTube channel and live stream accounts, KHS website, and social media platforms.
On Twitter, follow the KHS Principal, KHS_sports Twitter and Guidance Twitter accounts for updates and more.
Today's show was produced by the Advanced 1 class.
Our director today was Sierra Jacko.
Our technical director was Sarah Gomez.
Our video producers were Evan Lane and Elisa Leone.
Our audio operators were Stephen Glitchkowski and Nina Columbia.
Our script supervisor was John Miskowitz.
That's it for today. Have a fantastic week. Work hard, be kind, and peace, everyone.